So I have one technique which I'd love to share with you, and it will perhaps help that lady who spoke about, I forget the question, but when you spoke about it, I thought of it. Is anyone familiar with TPS? Because I don't wish to explain it if you are familiar with it. Okay, TPS, if I thought of it myself, it would be very rich, but it really, really works. You can go and Google it. The T stands for think. The P stands for pair. I have changed it to peer, because not always are you in twos, okay? So think, peer, and share. And it works from preschool right through to adults. It's specifically a safe technique for people whose mother tongue is not English. It is specifically a useful technique when your classes are particularly large. In brief, all of us, if you're a good teacher, you have prepared your trigger question, your prompt question. Often it's just a question, okay? And rather than pose it to the masses, you would pose it, but you would teach them to TPS. And this implies that you would allow about 5 to 10 seconds for an individual to think. I would ask my question, I'm expecting each individual to think. This allows you to process in your mother tongue, to translate back into English, to think about an answer. There's a lot of cognition that's happening. And then you need a signal of some kind. I have a small bell, but you're welcome to flick lights, because lights are very good if there's a noisy class. People can see there's now a call for action. You need to allow very brief think period, 5 to 10 seconds. Of course, it will lengthen the senior class and the complexity of the question. Then when I've rung my little bell, it's the pair or the peer. Now the two of you talk, and you turn around and you speak to the little group at the back there, and there of course you double the time, so that each person is allowed to express themselves. The majority of my teaching was in the secondary school with Afrikaans learners. So I'm now demonstrating what I would come across, and the person would say, what is that in English? And that person would help you. Okay, so there's a kind of peer teaching that's happening as well. And then when you again flick the lights or ring the bell, you then get the whole group back to you. And that's then where you would say, right, any volunteers? Now I have all my classes, all my students' names are on ice cream sticks. You can use with a cardboard as well. Then I would just pull out, are there any volunteers? Okay, and then maybe someone will answer. In your adult classes, people do respond voluntarily. Otherwise, I pull a name out of my tin with my stick, and I pull the stick out, and I say, okay, this is Sipu. Sipu, what do you say? Colleen, do you agree? What did you say? What did your group say? And so you then have everyone for a couple of seconds in the class, even if they're 40 or 50. My classes, my smallest class is, I think my smallest class is 120. So I teach like this, okay? And you put the question or you put it on the screen. They get a few minutes to think individually, in silence, by yourself. Ring the bell, talk to each other. And they are not too strict about the language they use. To me, it's what's happening up here and then the response. And then with the sharing, what's also happened is I have given, the facilitator, the lecturer has given the responsibility to the class. The class has the responsibility and I then take it back. But it's this back and forth. So it's a very simple technique, and if you Google it, you'll find a number of ways in which you can use it for listening and speaking, for reading, and for writing techniques. TPS.